Namaste and welcome, podcast listeners. This is another episode of Bored and Annoyed. I am home at the movies.
What kind of sounds are you going to put behind this one? I can just, I'm hearing it now.
Yeah.
Hey, I didn't even tell you. I was pretty impressed with the crowd noise.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, you don't hear it when it's being recorded here. We don't have that sound in the background. So.
That was real fans, by the way. Crowdsourced by our real fans.
Yeah, right. Well, thank you for your
all 12 of you.
Right, correct.
Welcome to another episode of Bored and Annoyed. I'm home at the movies.
And I'm Jackson.
And this week, we're actually going to be going into something that maybe happened this week. Maybe movies that have bad buzz before they're actually released.
Bad buzz. I would argue one of the movies we're going to talk about doesn't really have bad buzz, but there's some decision being made that's got me, personally, a little bit like, ooh, I don't know about that.
Bored and Annoyed.
Yeah, but news. What do we got?
So, the Oscars are at it again.
Yeah, they're really, speaking of bad buzz, they've created quite a bit for themselves
those rascally year. Oscars. You know, it's actually getting to the point where I almost feel bad for them because it's like they can't do anything right.
Well, wouldn't it be nice if there was just like a movie awards show that was like fun and it wasn't about all these people like patting themselves on the back and it wasn't all this politics bullshit and it was just like people who like movies. Here's what
I think that's what the MTV Movie Awards were like trying to do initially.
They might be more entertaining.
I don't know, MTV Best Kiss winner.
Yeah. Tobey Maguire. Satan's Alley.
I've been a bad boy, father. One of my favorites.
You know what? They should just turn that into a movie.
Oh my God.
Live action, just full feature length film.
We should make a long time running bet that eventually movies will be getting to the point where they're making parody movies because they ran out of IPs to make.
It would make sense. Yeah, I mean
30, 40 years from now.
God, it's crazy that movie in particular like could not come out right now. I don't think you would like fucking what's his name is never getting nominated for an Oscar playing like a blackface character.
Oh yeah.
Robert Downey.
It's a good point.
It's kind of crazy.
I loved that bit though.
The whole movie was great. The whole point, like what people are losing is that like now it doesn't seem to matter if it's like, you know, self-deprecating, like look at how shitty we are.
Yeah.
Like people look past whatever the point is.
Yeah.
And they're just mad because that thing is in there.
Yeah.
Like the whole Simple Jack thing, I know people got pissed about, but the whole point was like,
look at
Hollywood
this,
is exploiting retarded people.
Yeah. That was the whole. Yeah. I mean, I don't get why we've gotten to this point in society where intent is invalid or unnecessary to even look at. That's really strange.
Yeah.
But,
sorry, diatribe to start the show.
Yep. So the Oscars are at it again. They're going to be airing cinematography, editing, and hair and makeup awards.
And live action short
during commercials.
So they won't be airing it.
They won't be airing it.
They will not air those
Maybe
awards.
They'll stream it for everybody who streams the Oscars.
Well, you know, I'm just thinking like the Oscars notoriously runs long. So my first thought was like, okay, they're trying to like shorten it up.
Right.
But there's so much bullshit in the Oscars telecast that isn't about giving away the awards. Yeah. Like cut some of that shit.
You know what I don't get is like they always like, what was that year where John Travolta was like Emilia Denzel or whatever? Like they played every song that was nominated for original song or whatever.
They like perform them.
Yeah. Why? I don't get that.
No,
I mean, here's the thing. We're gonna award, you know, a guy who acted, you know. We're going to give him an award.
Sure.
But do we play a 3 or 4 minute clip from his movie?
Yeah, but that wouldn't be like entertaining. What's entertaining is like, I
don't know if he's nominated for an Oscar, it should be entertaining.
I mean, not in the context of the movie.
Maybe,
whereas
maybe.
a song,
I'm just saying,
like people are gonna tune in to watch Lady Gaga and maybe Bradley Cooper play that Shallow song.
I'm just saying, give me a snippet.
Yeah,
you know, what does iTunes give you? Like 25, 30 seconds?
So you're saying they should just do clips of the songs like they do when they actually announce the nominees of it and give away the award.
I don't know why. Yeah.
No, I'm okay with seeing the songs. I just don't like cinematography. That's the big one.
That's
right?
a huge one.
That's the movie.
It's literally what you see on the screen, literally the whole time.
Yeah, it's one of the most important things. If it can bury your movie if it looks bad, if it's not pleasing to the eye, or it doesn't help, evoke whatever message the movie is trying to hammer down on.
Everything in a movie, if it's not good, can ruin your movie. A movie with really poor sound design is ruined. Sure. Because you imagine hey, I'm doing this during my movie. Oh, somebody's hitting the mic. That would ruin the movie.
Not for a deaf person.
Fair enough. I just
somewhere all the blind people are like, yes. Like, I don't care about cinematography anyway. I'm glad it's being played during the commercial breaks.
All right.
But yeah, I don't understand how that one out of all of these fucking things, we're going to get costume design, I'm assuming, will be shown, but not cinematography.
Yeah, why
and some oldie time costume design. The favorite.
Just
will give it to the favorite.
God, if Black Panther doesn't win, I'm going to be pissed.
It's not going to win that.
Yeah, I know. So The Trench. Aquaman is getting a spinoff.
Now, an Aquaman spinoff. Is it Aquaman 2 or is he not in this?
No,
what is this?
It's based on those weird lobster people, the trench creatures. You remember the sequence? We were like, that was probably the coolest thing in the whole movie.
Is it sad that I don't remember it? Oh, where they fall in the dark depth of the yeah, sure. They're getting a movie.
Really? I mean,
people love that Aquaman, man.
I mean, this is where I'm like, this is where it's just like, this is the strangest reality we live in. Donald Trump is president. The Trench is getting a spinoff. Aquaman is the highest grossing DC movie of all time. And The Trench is getting a movie before The Flash is ever made.
Hey, it makes sense.
It makes zero sense.
People love that Aquaman.
This world is insane. We're all fucked. Cthulhu.
We'll probably get a Venom 2 before we get a Flash movie too.
I think you're right, actually, because Venom 2 is in development.
Right.
So yeah.
By the way, I heard that they're actually going to start filming He-Man soon. That's actually happening.
Great.
There you go.
I'm
extra
pumped.
news.
I'm pumped.
Extra news. I would much rather go see He-Man than the Trench Lobster Man movie.
Yep. I mean, it's not going to have any of the characters from Aquaman. So
well, maybe it has a chance of being good then.
It's true. That's true. So Deadpool is apparently still going to be rated R at Disney when Disney gets the rights to all those characters. But because they're going to keep it rated R, it's not going to be set in the MCU.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. You a fan of this?
Sure, because now you can have X-Men be rated R, and that can be in the Deadpool universe.
But that won't happen.
But it could.
I mean, I'll tell you why it's not going to happen. The reason is that one, they want to rebuild that brand, and to rebuild that brand, they need 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds.
Oh, that could be a good point. I mean, unless they want to do this thing, and hey, hopefully you people are listening up because this is actually an interesting idea. You just do lower budget movies for that universe, and you don't plan on making $1 billion on a fucking X-Men movie. You're fine with making $500 million worldwide, and you make it for $60 million.
This is true.
And you make them good and gritty and fucking R-rated. Wolverine, bludgeoning people and ripping them apart with his claws and blood everywhere, and Deadpool making little quips. That's what you do.
Yeah.
That's what you do if you want to make it good.
I don't know. Something else that might be rated R
Okay.
Jared Leto's Morbius movie.
Sure.
He had a nice little cryptic video on Instagram.
He's a douche. I don't like him.
What's up with it? Did you see the video?
I haven't seen it, but he's just everything I ever hear of him doing is like, I just don't like the guy.
Do you want to know what he was doing in the video?
Let's hear it.
Okay, so first, the title or the name or the words under the video, it's not even a title, is Hello England, #Morbius. And what he's doing in the, 10-second video or whatever, he's just staring at his phone. He's just looking at the camera. He says nothing. What is happening on social media?
He's an interesting guy.
No, he's somebody who sends used condoms.
Yeah, but that was in character as the Joker.
This is a workplace, Jared.
It's true. If I did that, I'd be in some big trouble.
Yeah. See, this is just more of those Hollywood elites.
Yeah, they can get away with shit.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't like the guy though.
No,
like I don't care about this movie at all.
I gave him a lot of leeway after Dallas Buyers Club.
Okay.
Even after his acceptance speech at the Oscars.
I don't even remember what he said. He
was just so up his own ass. It was ridiculous. Like, oh, we were just doing this great and powerful movie. And, I'm so great. He didn't say that, obviously, but it was just this self-congratulatory, I do things that are super important.
Because no one's ever worn a wig.
Yeah.
Jared. Yeah, I mean, he's an okay actor. I'm not ever excited, like, I'm really excited to see the
Jared
performance
Leto
he turns in for this one.
Yeah. So I fuck this movie. I don't want it. It's still going to make like $400 or $500 million at the box office.
I mean, who knows?
It's going to be successful. Teenagers will always want vampires.
That could be true.
But something that kids will always want is Power Rangers, apparently. And now we're getting potentially another reboot from Lionsgate.
A reboot, not a sequel.
Yeah. I mean, it's still, rumor is it's in works, but nobody knows if it's a sequel or a reboot yet.
Why would they reboot that? It's got to be a sequel, right?
It didn't make its money back.
Oh.
So
they're going to try again? Like,
I think they might. My opinion, they should. I did not like that movie.
I mean, it wasn't very good. It wasn't like the worst thing in the world.
No, it
wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
It was just really boring.
Yeah.
And it was a very strange movie, but the actors were actually surprisingly decent.
Fine. Yeah, all of them I thought were fine.
But I mean, I don't know. Do you want to see a reboot of Power Rangers? Let's get a gritty reboot.
I mean, I'm only interested if the black guy is playing the Black Ranger again and the Yellow Ranger is the Asian girl. Otherwise, I'm out. I was offended and pissed that they changed my Rangers.
Okay. I think he's finally selling the sarcasm now.
Hopefully I'm selling it right away. But I was really pissed because they changed it to, to adhere to this new PC world.
Yeah. One of them might have been gay. We don't know.
I thought he wasn't he gay?
No, it was a girl.
Oh.
The Yellow Ranger.
In the movie. In the show, was she gay? I mean, either way, this just goes to show how much this does not matter. Nobody gives a shit.
And that's why no matter how good the reboot is, it's not going to do very well.
How about this? Just make a good movie. Like, come up with like a solid plot and write a good script and make a good movie. You can make any of the Rangers gay and, I don't really give a shit.
In all honesty, I feel like what you need to do is, this is a movie that would make a lot more money if it was a cartoon.
That might be true.
Like
the Spider-Man style animation.
Exactly. And go crazy with it. You can be really over the top again, which means all the things that are silly that make no sense in the real world make sense in a cartoon.
Right.
Do that. But I don't want to see another live action remake. Unless it has.
I don't care about the Power Rangers.
Unless it has the Power Rangers theme in its entirety. They
did just like plug it in for a second.
It was there for like 5 or 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And you're like,
it was like the best part of the movie.
It was the best part of the movie. Because that theme song is one of the greatest.
It's not bad. I remember it. So
yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. But
that's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's hilarious that they really just will not let go of that. Like that's people talk about like how there's no new good ideas. Like this is like the poster boy for those people. How the fuck are they still making like Power Rangers?
It's been
movies?
on for like 25 years or something like that.
It's insane.
And there's what's his name? The Green Ranger. He still goes on it.
I know. He still like goes to like, Comic Cons and shit.
Yeah. Oh man, he is. Did you know that he actually did like UFC fighting for a while?
No.
Yeah, he got super ripped. Did UFC for a while. He seems like a guy that maybe took a few too many punches to the head.
Okay.
But
well, I mean, being the Green Ranger,
I know
you always save the day. All the other Rangers are shit. Apparently,
they don't really do much. I never understood either. Like he had this like cool little like shield thing on his chest. How come nobody else got that?
Yeah. Well, he turned into the White Ranger eventually. Didn't he?
Of course, the white one had to be the best one.
When I was a kid, I was a Red Ranger fan.
Yeah.
And then when the Green Ranger came, I was like pissed because he like stole all the,
well, see, everybody was a fan of the Red Ranger because he was the leader.
Right.
He had a sword. He had the Tyrannosaurus Rex.
But I didn't like Leonardo and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I think I just like the color red.
Yeah, well,
like
Leo was a real square.
True.
Jason was real cool. He like did flips and shit.
Yeah.
And he wasn't Billy who had overalls on. Otherwise you had Zach or Trini or Kimberly.
Jesus, you know their first names.
Yeah.
I know Kimberly's name.
Everybody knows Kimberly. In our age group, that was the first crush more than likely.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah. But let's go back to the news. So the Lego movie opened really low, 35 million opening weekend, which is half of what the first one made.
Yeah, and I don't think it was anywhere near what they projected for it.
Yeah. So that appears to be a dying franchise, which is insane considering this is the second one officially in that like canon franchise or whatever.
But it's the fourth one and there's not enough there to like different. This is just another one.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, anybody who watches them is going to be like, yeah, but I don't count Ninjago, and Batman is a different one.
Right,
because
they're like side movies.
They're side movies. So this is like the second.
Parents make the decisions and they don't fucking care. It's just another Lego movie.
Yeah. Well, I will say something happened with the marketing on this where they just dropped off on the marketing.
Right.
I saw nothing about this on the internet or TV or anything.
Yeah, they like tried to make a push at the end. And I feel like there were trailers like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
But the last couple months there haven't been many.
Nope. So last piece of news, because we're actually not going to get into the trailers because that actually deals with our main topic this week. The last piece of news is that we are getting rated R cartoons that are going to Hulu based on Marvel characters.
Is this the thing Kevin Smith is kind of involved in?
Kevin Smith is involved with it. Patton Oswalt. So we're getting MODOK, Hit Monkey, Tigra and Dazzler, Howard the Duck, and then all of those are going to fuse together to become the Offenders.
Okay. This is Hulu.
So
this isn't for Disney's thing.
Nope. But with Disney buying Fox, they will own 60% of Hulu, which is basically what really means, what really that means is that is going to be the place for rated R content that is owned by Disney.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Because they can't put that on their Disney streaming, I don't think.
Yeah, because they're going to have a PG-13 or lower Disney
limit.
Streaming service. Yeah. Okay.
So do you want to hear the pitches for these shows?
Sure. Let's hear them.
So MODOK centers around an egomaniacal supervillain with a really big head and a really small body who struggles to maintain control of his evil organization and his demanding family. It's going to be written by Jordan Blum and Patton Oswalt.
Sounds like an Incredibles villain.
Yeah. Have you ever seen this guy?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, man. MODOK is one of the best. That's MODOK.
Okay.
He's the big guy.
Yes, I have seen him. He was in a video game I used to play.
He was
Marvel
in the
vs. Capcom.
Marvel vs. Capcom. Yeah. God, that game, man.
Yeah. Except for you try to play online and you're dead in like 2
everybody
seconds.
Picked fucking Dark Phoenix.
Yep.
Fucking just spammed all the bullshit. But so Hit Monkey tells the tale of a wronged Japanese snow monkey mentored by the ghost of an American assassin as he cuts a wide swath through the Tokyo underworld in his darkly cinematic and brutally funny revenge saga.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. I'm on board for that. Tigra and Dazzler is a story about two woke superheroes and best friends.
Jesus Christ.
Tigra and Dazzler as they fight for recognition among powered people who make up the 8 million stories in Los Angeles. Okay. And Howard the Duck is trapped in a world he never made, but America's favorite fighting fowl hopes to return home with the help of his unstoppable gal pal Beverly before the evil Dr. Bong can turn him into the crispiest dish on the menu. That one's written by Kevin Smith.
All right. Well, I'm excited for Howard the Duck.
Yeah.
And the Hit Monkey one. They'll probably all be kind of worth checking out. But.
I'm actually curious about Tigra and Dazzler and what they're going to do with woke. Because
Jesus Christ.
Like, are they going to make fun of it? Are they going to embrace it?
I don't know. Mean, that's a good question.
It could go any which way. I would hope that they would kind of do a little bit of both.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, ride the line. Let's be realistic about the world.
That's what everything should do.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I'm actually strangely excited.
Those.
Yeah. I'm glad I got Hulu because these could be fun. And I'm really glad because Marvel TV and like their animated division has been doing really terrible kids programming for a long time. So this is a nice change of pace for them.
Yeah, sure. Let them try something different.
Yeah. So you want to go into shit we watched?
Yeah, I don't have much though. It's all TV shows.
Okay.
And I can't really say much because none of them are over.
Okay.
I just caught. But I did, you're going to be upset with me. Started watching a zombie show again.
Yeah, but it looks good.
Yeah, the good one.
Yeah.
That was, Kingdom. Mild spoilers.
Yeah, that looks awesome.
I've watched 3 episodes on Netflix. It's a South Korean show. And
they did Old Boy. That was the country that did Old Boy.
It doesn't feel like that though.
No, I'm sure it doesn't. But yeah, but I think South Korea actually
might come out of there.
I think they're a good country for film. Yeah.
But yeah, basically the premise is that like your main character is like the crown prince, so he's next in line for the throne. The king has this young queen, and she's pregnant. So basically, they call this doctor in to bring the king back to life because she wants the king to live until her hopefully son is born, because then that will shut out the other guy from being the king.
Gotcha.
So that's kind of how this whole conflict starts, is like this royal family squabble.
Okay. Good premise.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And they make a few like really cool things with like the rules of the zombies, which we've talked about before. That's what you need to do.
Yeah.
But now like they only come out at night.
Oh, okay.
And like when the daylight comes, they all just run for cover. And then during the day they look dead.
Oh, so like man,
you'll find like a dead body. And you'll be like, you know, preparing for the ritual or funeral or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the sun goes down and it wakes up and fucking tries to eat you and shit.
Oh, man.
But it's pretty neat when the sun comes up, like they're all just like, fuck. And they all stop whatever they're doing and they'll like dive under houses or wherever. You know, it's pretty fucking interesting.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Awesome. I'm excited to check this out. What would you give it for a grade so far?
So far, I'd give it like a B+.
Okay.
All the zombie shit's amazing. The only thing is like, and it's tough because it's in a different language. It's subtitled, but like there's a couple of the actors in it where you're just like, God, you were bad.
Oh,
and I don't
really?
Usually it's the opposite where like
right.
You can't really negatively view them.
Right.
But it's just like, ooh. You know, and maybe it's because they're just playing it really over the top and cheesy, like.
Right.
But yeah, overall, I might watch a couple more episodes tonight. I like it. It's only 6 episodes, so I'm halfway through it. But
God, I love these short shows.
I know,
I really do.
But yeah, it's like it's got me, and it's cool too because the first episode's kind of a slog. Like they're setting it up. You know, you're interested, but like nothing really huge happens. And then like the first episode ends with something big happening as the cliffhanger, and what happens is fucking crazy.
Okay.
But yeah, then now it's like, it's moving.
Yeah.
Through 3 episodes. So yeah, I'm excited. I had seen the trailer like a month or so ago, and it's cool to see something different. Like, never really seen zombies in this setting. Mm-hmm. They can kind of make up their own rules as to what the deal with them is.
Right.
But yeah, I enjoyed it.
I gotta say, there's something to be said about Asian culture, and I know that they probably all don't want to be lumped in together as Asian.
Right.
But there is something to be said about Korean and Japanese horror and the gore and the disturbing ideas that come out of that region.
I would agree.
They can really do some really cool and fucked up shit.
It's intense and it's brutal.
Yeah.
This show is like.
Did you see 13 Assassins?
I don't think I did.
Oh my
it's
God.
Good?
The first shot is one of the most disturbing things I've ever seen.
Sounds like I got to see it.
It's pretty good.
All right. But yeah, that was my first thought. This show is brutal. I mean, you got little kids like fucking, and it's just fucking crazy.
I do love how it's one of the things.
They just don't give a shit.
That's one of the things I love about the Koreans and the Japanese is I love the violence and the blood and the gore. Like
they go all out.
They go all out.
Well, and it's interesting too because that they don't have all this money to bullshit it, so it all like looks very fucking like real. It's like that old school style.
Yep.
I mean, the zombies aren't like they're not like the new Walking Dead zombies where it's like, okay, he sat in a makeup chair for fucking 14 hours to get that zombie to look like that. No, they just look fucking scary and they've got some sort of prosthetic mouth thing going on, and it's fucking creepy.
I gotta say,
way more effective.
I gotta say, some of the rules, and one of these days we're gonna get you to watch some anime, but some of the rules and some of what you're describing sounds a little bit like this anime Attack on Titan.
Maybe it's supposed to be. Maybe it ripped it off. I don't know.
I'm gonna pitch this to you real quick, just because I think you'd actually really enjoy this anime. It's about like society, like humanity is really kind of like almost endangered, and like all that's left of humanity is like 500 to 1,000 people, and they live in this enclosed society with giant walls, huge walls on the outside, and there are giants on the outside known as Titans who eat people. But they've got these disturbing, like they all, like the giants look like people and they're brain dead. They're like zombies. They just run in and they're like, and some of them will have like a giant smile on their face, and that's the only face that they make. And they just like, first episode, it's not too much of a spoiler, but the main character gets his mom eaten, and first thing the giant does is break her in half. And then like shove her in his mouth or her mouth and then just eats her. It's so fucking good. It's great. I think you'd enjoy it.
But yeah, what else? What did you watch?
So I'm going to do the bad thing first.
Oh, really? Watch something bad.
I continued Punisher season 2.
Have you finished it? I feel like usually you finish these in like a day.
Technically, I finished it.
You were sleeping.
No, actually I did something completely different on this one. First time ever doing this on Netflix or any streaming service. I skipped the entirety of the second half.
Just got to the end?
I watched the last episode and I got to, I don't know, episode 6 or episode 7 because I wanted to see how it ended, but I could not believe how incredibly slow and boring it was. And guess what? There's like 3 characters that are introduced that I didn't know, but I already got who they were and I got their shtick immediately through context in that episode.
Okay.
Which means not a whole lot happens in those last...
It's all filler shit.
It's all filler shit. And the last episode was... fine, I guess, but I cannot imagine slogging through those episodes to get to that. And it's the ending that you knew you were going to have by episode 3 or 4. So it's like, none of this is impressive.
Yeah, I'm not going to watch this, I don't think. I don't think I'm going to watch it.
It's pretty bad. It's not Iron Fist 1 bad, and it's not Jessica Jones season 2 bad, but it's probably...
I just don't have the time. It doesn't fucking matter anymore.
Yeah, well, it's going to be canceled anyways.
Right.
That's another one that its ratings dropped dramatically. Again, another like 56% drop from season 1
It is funny,
or whatever.
you know, with that other show, it's 6 episodes long. It's like, why don't they just do that?
I can't remember. We actually found the answer to that not too long ago.
There was like a contract deal with Marvel or something. Yeah.
Which is like, I don't know why you wouldn't write a contract in which, like, if 13 episodes isn't working, you have the freedom to adjust it to whatever episodes would work for your stories. I don't know why they didn't do that. It seems really stupid.
Because they suck.
Yeah.
Unless they're buying foreign shows.
And I have to say, this is the only reason why I'm actually a little worried about those cartoons going to Hulu is it's still Marvel TV, and on the whole, Marvel TV is not that great.
No.
So
I would agree. It's too bad too, because when you first watched that first season of Daredevil, it was like exciting to think about what could be coming.
You thought, I mean, I was sitting there and I was like, oh man, Daredevil meets Cap. Because at that time you had just gotten Winter Soldier too. Yeah. So it's like they fit together pretty well. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna happen.
I'm sad. I'm sad about it. It's a huge missed opportunity. But anyways, what else did you watch?
Another show I watched more of is Ray Donovan. Still great. And then I also watched. This coming weekend will be the season 2 finale of Counterpart, and the way it's being written and what's happening right now, I'm a little concerned it's going to be the end.
Of the show.
Of the series.
Man.
And they haven't renewed it. Apparently ratings have dropped like 40% or something from last year.
Ooh, that's brutal, because that wasn't even like that huge of a show.
No, but the point is, like, I'm watching it and I'm like, okay, well, at least they've written it in a way where I can see this ending this weekend and having it be like settled, like whatever the plot is. It's not going to be one of these like when Starz canceled Boss after season 2, where it was like they were revving up a new plot.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's been really good. So I'm disappointed in you people who haven't been watching it, you fuckers. But yeah, no, it's good. I hope they renew it. I think they will, because it's Starz. Like, I don't think that they're just rolling around in the...
Starz doesn't have a ton of shows.
Right, but it's weird. Like, they canceled that Ash vs. the Evil Dead show. I can't imagine that wasn't one of their bigger shows. Like, what the fuck are people watching?
I actually
Starz?
watched the entirety of that show over like a week, and that show started out pretty damn awesome.
The first season was great. That's the only one I saw.
And it just continually went downhill after that. Season 1 is pretty fucking good.
It's funny, yeah.
And season 2 is still mildly enjoyable. I forget, is that 3 or 4 seasons?
I think it was 3.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
I mean, yeah. Season 1 is pretty great.
Yeah. But yeah, I hope they don't cancel it. And then the other thing I've been watching, and this Sunday was crazy, is the True Detective. I've been continuing to watch.
Yeah.
And the fucking show is phenomenally good.
It's back to being a great show.
Amazing. Yeah, because it's like they're always giving you nuggets. Like, it's a mystery. You're with these detectives trying to figure out who killed so and so or where she went or whatever.
Right.
And like, you're getting just enough at all times where like they'll give you like, okay, well, that makes sense. But then they open up 2 new doors where it's like, okay, now what about this shit?
Right.
And it's just the mystery is getting wider and wider, and you're getting to know the 2 main characters, which are the Blood God from Blade and Mahershala Ali.
Yep.
And they're both fucking fantastic. 2 episodes ago, there's a scene with them. And like they do a great job on the old man makeup in this, because it's 3 eras. It's 1980, 1990, and 2015. Okay. And the 2015 versions of them, like old men, like reminiscing, fucking amazing. But yeah, it's great. I would recommend.
I didn't even know it had that structure. I like that.
Oh yeah, it's fucking awesome. But they, if you are one of the people who dropped out because of 2, just to forget 2 ever happened. Yeah. If you've never watched True Detective before, just watch season 1 and skip season 2 because it's that bad. But yeah, it's good. Yeah. I think both of them are going to, this is an early ass prediction, but both of them are going to be nominated for like Golden Globes or something. They're that good. Like Steven Dorff is fucking great in this too.
Wow. Okay. I'm not going to watch it because I don't have it, but
hey, you got that Game of Thrones, you're going to have to.
Yeah, it's
so
true.
At that time, that's when you watch it.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
That is exactly
that's the target.
That is exactly how I'll do it. So I watched the new Netflix, the big Netflix release this weekend, Russian Doll.
Okay.
And so, quick premise: it's basically kind of Groundhog's Day for this woman. She lives in New York. She's pretty crass. She's pretty cool, actually.
She's always crass, that actress. I forget, Natasha Lyonne or whatever. Yeah, I like her.
She's fucking awesome, man. And the writing in this is so funny. She is had me in stitches.
She's got great comedic timing in everything she's in. She's one of the highlights of Orange is the New Black, I would say, too.
I had to pause and rewind because I was laughing over lines. It was so funny. But it doesn't stay funny. Intentionally, though.
Okay.
Intentionally.
You got me on a roller coaster.
Yep. That's how I do it. I really quite enjoyed this until the last episode. And then the ending happened, and I'm not quite sure if I liked it. I'm not quite sure what it said.
Okay, don't spoil it for me here. I gotta watch this one.
There's no spoilers on this. I would say that up until the last episode, it was like a, I don't know, B+ show.
Okay.
Maybe A-. I was sitting here and I was like, man, dude, Netflix, you just kill it on these like sci-fi weird
shows,
yeah. And then the last episode happened and it was kind of like, man, you guys ran out of steam with ideas, didn't you?
Ooh.
Yeah. That was the thing that I got from it. It was like, we don't know how to end this. How about this? And I was like, no, more frustrated. I'm not even going to bring up my problems with the ending because it's too much of a spoiler, but her performance is great.
Okay.
And some of these episodes are fantastic. And the use of the Groundhog's Day,
I love that
premise.
Shit. We talked about it last week. I'm a fan.
It's so incredibly good. And all the characters are pretty well written. I really, and it's got this really like kind of cool thing where like they went for a 70s aesthetic because she's kind of got this 1970s sort of like Woody Allen, like New Yorker, Jewish New Yorker vibe going on.
Okay.
And they really nail it with the costume design, and even the buildings that they find people in kind of have a 70s look to it. It had good cinematography, good. It was good. It was good. I still think I give it a B.
Cinematography doesn't matter.
I know.
It's a commercial.
It's a commercial award.
But it gets a B though.
It's
worth watching for sure.
It still gets a B.
All right, I'm gonna have to watch that because I'm a fan of the Groundhog Day thing. I'm pretty excited for Happy Death Day to You this weekend.
Oh, is that coming out this weekend?
That's coming out this weekend.
Yeah, I'm more excited for Battle Angel.
So am I. Actually, I'm pretty excited to see that. But
I hope it's good. I really do.
One more thing I watched. Was the Ted Bundy Conversations with a Killer tape, Ted Bundy tapes or whatever on Netflix. It's like 4 episodes. Pretty fascinating. Like it's weird when you're watching these because there's like a sickness to your, like you feel gross because you're so intrigued.
Right.
I mean, the guy's a fucking lunatic killer.
Yeah.
But like they really go into like how charismatic he was.
Right.
Like there's a scene in there that's made me laugh my ass off where, and that sounds horrible, but like he gets found guilty and the judge sentences him to death or whatever, and the judge like stops him on his way out and he's like, now Ted, you take care of yourself, like, you know, you just chose the wrong path. I could see you being a lawyer, blah blah blah, you just chose the wrong path. And I'm sitting there like, this isn't like his first pot ticket. This is you murdered like 30 fucking people.
You take care of yourself.
Yeah.
You're on death row.
Right.
Take care of yourself.
Yeah. Yes.
Why?
Because he was just that charming of a guy, apparently.
Unbelievable.
And it is funny, like the guy was pretty smart. I mean, he escaped jail twice.
Wow.
Twice.
Wow.
Like one time he basically jumped out of like a window. There was the second escape he had, I can't remember where he was, maybe like Utah or something, but he basically like starved himself so he'd be small enough to fit through like the light fixture area above his cell, and he gets out.
God.
He ends up in like a jailer apartment, like where the jailers stay or whatever, throws on some clothes and just walks out the front door. Got away for another like 40 something days, ended up like in Florida, murdered a few people there.
Jesus
It's fucking
Christ.
crazy. It's pretty crazy. But I feel like they could have gotten a lot of this in like 1 hour and a half long documentary as opposed to 4 like hours of it. You know?
Gotcha. I heard that this is so disturbing you can't watch it alone.
No.
Okay.
No, I don't agree with that. It really made me excited though, because I think the guy who made this also made the one that's coming out with Zac Efron in it as Ted Bundy.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And he also did the Metallica documentary years ago, where it was like them in like therapy and shit.
Yeah.
He's pretty good, that director.
Got to meet the real Lars.
And he also did one of my favorite ones ever, which I think True Detective is borrowing heavily from, oh God, what's the name of it? Oh, Paradise Lost, where the satanic kids, quote unquote, were pinged, like, you know, pegged as these butchers of these children, and it wasn't true, whatever. But yeah, I'm pretty pumped for that movie now, because it's like, oh, he was like a real character, this guy. Like, you know, sick and twisted as fuck, but interesting. And it's weird because, you know, you think of all these like serial podcasts and, you know, like the true crime podcasts, and you really can kind of see how people like dive into this shit, like the ID network and stuff.
Yeah, people. Yeah, I mean, is Ted Bundy one of those people they call him like hyper sane? Like,
I don't know. Okay. But he was a fucking lunatic who could talk his way out of anything. Basically, he was just like a charming, decent looking guy. He doesn't look like John Wayne Gacy, who's like a fat ass in a clown costume, you know?
Well, because I had heard about like hyper sanity, and this just like intrigues me. It's sort of along the lines of what you're talking about.
I'm Googling it as we speak.
And like apparently like hyper sanity is like where you can kind of like adjust your personality to any situation, so you can almost like just like be anyone at any point. Like you can just change who you are.
Interesting. You might have had a little of that going on,
because that would be insane. Because I just heard about that.
That would be hyper insane.
Yeah. Well, that's the weird thing. Is like they call it hyper sanity as if like you're so sane that you're insane.
Just from a quick Google I just did, it sounds like you're a little more sane than a normal person.
Right.
But I don't think that's what he was, because like it's weird, because you have like, you know, your sexual attractions, like a good looking girl walks by and you're like, ooh, geez, like, ooh, she looks good, whatever. I'd like to, whatever, you know, but he's just like, I would love to just chop her fucking head off, or like that. He associated like good looking women with being like a violent, murdering son of a bitch. Like all the girls he killed had a look.
Jesus.
Like it was like his attraction to them was somehow in his brain tied to, I want to choke them to death and kill them.
That's so fucked.
It's fucking insane. It's insane. It's hyper insane.
It's hyper insane.
But yeah, I would recommend it if you're into that sort of thing. Now, I don't think that it's like the greatest documentary I've ever seen on this topic or anything, but it was good. And I'm really excited for that fucking movie.
All right.
But yeah, that's all I watched. That's the end of my shit we watched for me.
Are you excited for anything else that's coming out soon?
I was fully excited. Now I'm excited for one of these things with like a sprinkling of like, ooh, I'm a little worried now.
That was my horrible
segue. Oh, it's all right. I'm really excited for Aladdin.
God,
does that look good?
It looks terrible.
It took me back to being a kid, that trailer. I mean, they couldn't have done a better job with like Jafar looks great. He sounds great.
Could you believe like those bars come in, that music comes in. I like how
he's just ignoring my sarcasm here. He's just trudging right through the...
Yeah.
He's not even going to pretend to be mad about me saying how good it looks. No, why would I be one?
No. Sarcasm. I don't take the bait. Don't feed the trolls.
But yeah, I mean, that's the topic this week is we've seen a few trailers and they're all kind of being shit on in one way or another, or people are shitting on the upcoming film.
I would say for most of them, rightfully so.
I would agree.
Aladdin looks quite terrible. Child's Play. What?
He's a robot now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I get.
And Pet Sematary. I mean, what are you doing?
Mild spoilers here, or big spoilers. If you're really avoiding the trailers because you're excited, then you might not want to listen to this segment, because they fucking put something in the trailer for that movie that is like, everyone was kind of like, what?
The movie.
Yes.
It's the whole movie.
Pretty much, yeah.
So do you want to go into, maybe what about these makes people so mad, or do you want to just go right into discussing them and then we can discuss,
Well, yeah, let's just do them one at a time.
Okay.
And then we'll kind of generally recap at the end.
All right.
Let's start with the Aladdin one.
All right. So, I mean, the bars, the music comes in.
Okay.
It sounds like the music doesn't even want to be there. Did it get you pumped?
No.
It didn't get me.
No, but I'm already looking at these trailers like, oh God, what are they going to show us now?
I don't like any of the cinematography. I've heard people say, oh, I liked the shot where they show all the monkeys and the elephants and stuff because it's colorful. And I'm like, yeah, but it looks like it could have been pulled from like a documentary about India.
Somebody brought up that it looks like India.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't really make much sense. It's supposed to be like the Middle East, isn't it?
It's supposed to be, I thought it was supposed to be, it's supposed to be the Middle East. Yeah.
So why does it look like India?
Because apparently...
what a missed opportunity. You could do like a fucking, I don't know, you've got Guy Ritchie.
Yeah.
I suppose it's hard to come up with like the Middle Eastern cartoon colorful land. Maybe is what they're thinking.
Maybe. I felt like everything was way overly designed, which is why it looks Indian, is because Indian culture is just so well known for intricate, small details.
Clothing and right.
And it's just, but you have to realize that might work for being realistic, but it doesn't look good on camera. It looks busy.
It does look busy. It looks odd.
Yeah.
It looks pointless. Yeah.
I mean, Aladdin, like I said during the first trailer, Aladdin doesn't look poor. Jafar, what's going on there?
Yeah, I don't know how they did this. Jafar is not Jafar.
I mean, what? He's supposed to be scary. That's what, to me, that was somewhat of the joke in the first movie, or the original movie, was oh, look at the Sultan. And he's such an idiot.
Right.
Because there's this clearly evil guy with him.
Yes.
And even in the movie, he goes I'm such a good judge of character. You're there's literally a mustache twirling villain right next to you.
He looks all fucking cool and he talks all evil. Now he's like, oh, go and get the lamp or whatever.
Your life will change.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Awful.
Terrible.
Awful.
Terrible. Now, let's talk about Iago. Did you notice that shot where Gilbert Gottfried's face was just photoshopped on top of this?
Oh man.
No, they didn't do that?
Oh no, strangely, I don't know why they didn't.
Wouldn't they?
I know. I mean, strange decision.
Yeah, well, I mean, because obviously that's how you create cartoon characters and really bring them to life.
Yeah.
Is you just take an actor's face, you film it, and then you plaster it on a cartoon body.
Yeah. It looked really weird. We're talking about Will Smith for anybody who hasn't seen the trailer. Yeah, what an odd choice.
I did not see that coming. I did not. I thought we're going to see maybe this will save it. We're going to see the blue genie. Mm-hmm. He's going to look like the genie and, cartoony and big features and whatever.
Yep.
No, it's just a blue Will Smith with knot top haircut and a fucking beard.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing.
It looks, he came out and it was kind of exactly what I didn't want, which is he comes out of the lamp and he goes woo, like that big Willie style kind of woo shit. And I hated that.
I don't even have a problem with him making the character like Will Smith, but to me it's what the fuck? Who thought this was a good idea to make it like this?
Yeah, the design is quite bad.
I can't think of a character like a recent CGI character who looks like this, who's just literally, mm-hmm. It looks like the actor's head on a cartoon body.
Right, yeah. I mean, what you should have done, honestly, is you should have pulled a Hulk, like a Mark Ruffalo Hulk.
Sure.
Where it kind of looks like the actor, but not fully, because you had already pre-established what the character looks like. So you just kind of tweak their features to fit in with that
you
other
could
one.
say the same about Thanos, kind of.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's what you do.
Yeah.
You don't go, oh, let's create a CGI genie with Will Smith's face. Like it looks like, and when it moves, like it looks bad.
Weird. Yeah, it looks weird. And this is another case of like overly designing the character. He's got like these necklaces on. He's got so much like jewelry on with his top knot, and he's got like so much going on with his wrists. He's got tattoos and shit. It's like, dude,
he was just a blue guy.
He was a blue guy with some like with bondage wrist chains. Like that was it. It was fine.
All right, so Aladdin. Like just discussing Aladdin. So basically we're shitting on this.
Yeah.
Everyone's shitting on this.
Yeah, this is
this is I think a combination on this one of just piss poor character design.
Yeah.
And you're fucking with a character that people like, that people have an affection towards.
Right.
You know, a whole property, really. I mean, the whole property.
Yep. It's me personally, it's my personal favorite Disney classic film.
It's one of my favorites.
And I don't like how at the beginning, like Jafar says, Aladdin after like a long pause to indicate like it's supposed to be a shock that we're watching an Aladdin trailer.
Well, of course it's a shock. You can't tell from like...
And Aladdin has no lines in this. Like, you want me to get excited for this movie?
Have we even heard him talk at all in any of these?
No.
Okay.
I mean...
We don't even know if the guy can act, really.
We don't know if he can act. We don't know if Jasmine can act. We just don't know much about this movie. And when does this come out? Was this the end of
months,
May?
Right? Like May or June or something? Yeah. It's getting pretty close.
I'm getting the feeling they're trying to hide this movie. I mean, you're doing a teaser trailer
Hold on, though. What if it's good, though?
I mean, it could be. I will eat crow. Not literally, obviously, but I will eat crow. I'll say it's good if it turns out good. I'm just not liking what I'm seeing.
No, yeah. And that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's going to be people who are like, oh, you're just bitter because you have the nostalgic attachment to what. But I have that for Lion King, too.
Right.
And I think that looks good.
And exactly. And you don't have that exact reaction.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, it is sort of one of these things like, what are they doing wrong? And I mean, I think we pointed to a certain amount of it. It's like you over-designed everything. Things that are like sets look like sets, or they look like giant CGI backgrounds.
Yes, it looks terrible. It all looks terrible.
And you haven't done anything like this is, you can, like Lion King. It did the smart thing in that it basically just recreated a scene that everybody loved. But this is kind of like, we're going to recreate sort of a bunch of scenes, but none of them seem as well done. So you just can't help but make the comparison.
They should probably just give us like a 3-minute scene from the movie.
I think so.
You know what I mean? One of those like, oh, here's a special sneak peek scene of Jafar and what's his name talking somewhere. Yeah. I mean, that's all I need to see.
Yeah.
Because this doesn't look good.
I want to see the carpet escaping from the...
there you go.
That was a great scene.
And that's something, if they do it right, is going to be awesome in live action. Yep. You know?
But it probably won't be.
I mean, we'll see.
Oh, did you see that CGI like lava shot? That CGI looked pretty bad.
All of it looks pretty bad. It almost looks like it's not done. It's like they took it out of the oven too quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is like...
that's how the genie looked too to me.
Yes.
Like he looks fakey. I don't know. It just does. And by putting... I'm harping on this, but by putting his so human face on the fucking character, it breaks like the suspension of disbelief like in you, because like the genie and Aladdin in the cartoon, like the genie, sure, he has human features, but he doesn't look like a guy. He doesn't look like a blue guy. He's the genie. He looks like something different.
Yeah.
You know, he's got a big old fucking head, you know, and now it's just like, oh, it's a blue guy who like floats around.
Yeah. That's what we want. It's what everybody wants.
And Will Smith afterwards was like, I told you. He thought this was going to like lessen the...
Yeah.
He's like, I told you that I was blue in this. See? And everyone's just like, no, it's worse. Like, I would rather just have you be a guy than this blue thing.
I just cannot believe how much the marketing for this is just being botched.
It's terrible. It should be a slam fucking dunk.
It should.
Yes.
I mean... you think about that like teaser trailer that they gave us where they just played, find the diamond.
And he grabbed the lamp or whatever. Yeah.
You think about that and it's like, that should have been you remember like the Beauty and the Beast trailer where it was played,
awesome.
Yeah.
Right.
Just played that song and it showed like the rose or whatever.
Yes.
Like, how pumped were you for that versus this? It's insane how much they're trying to do the same thing and they're failing miserably.
Because it doesn't look good.
Exactly.
Although I didn't like the look of the Beast, though. I was concerned with the look of the Beast.
He looked a little too sympathetic and nice guy.
But nothing compared to this.
That's true.
This is hideous.
That's true. That's true. I mean, but this is the problem of like remaking a classic. Like you're just it's just going into live action. That's the only thing you're changing.
That's where it gets difficult and I think in this case it's different because I objectively think that he looks terrible.
Yeah.
But I do believe that a lot of the hatred is towards it's just nostalgic shit.
Not my genie.
Not my Star Wars.
Hashtag not my genie.
Right. But yeah, next movie, Chucky.
Yeah.
Looks pretty plain Jane to me. It looks kind of...
I thought it looked pretty stupid.
You think so?
I was like, oh, it's a robot. It's got to like scan. Chucky's the Terminator now.
I mean, it kind of makes sense because that's where we are technologically now, where it's like
the Alexa for children or whatever.
Yeah. So I kind of think it could be interesting if they care to like have a message, if they care to like turn it into something new and different and interesting.
Look, I don't want Chucky to be anything other than a psychopath killer in a doll.
Yeah,
that's what he is.
Sure.
I mean, I don't understand why you change the premise like this. like this would be like you make Jason Voorhees a robot.
Well, I don't know, but what do you think of the casting of what's
Aubrey
her name?
Plaza?
Yeah, as the mom. I feel like can she play like a normal mom, or is she going to be like a smart ass? You know
what?
Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't work as like the smart ass.
You brought up a good point because there is a part of me that's going to be like, oh, because the mom is pretty damn ineffectual in the first one.
Right, she's just like a normal plain Jane mom.
So I kind of wonder if like she's going to be like maybe not a full on Sarah Connor kind of character.
Okay, yeah.
But she might be like, get away from my kid, you bitch. Something like that.
Well, no, they show you a scene in the trailer where she's like tied up on this thing and like clearly she gets captured. It's like, why the fuck are you showing us this?
Right.
I don't get that, but
we already know where the movie's going. But yeah, and they're hiding Chucky as if like it's like some sort of big reveal. Like we know what Chucky looks like.
I want to see Chucky. I want to see this new Chucky.
I do too.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, why are you doing this? You're hiding like the one thing that might get people excited.
They do have like a picture or a poster or something showing just like half of his face.
Okay.
And he looks way different.
Does he?
Yeah.
Does he look like a robot?
A little robotic. But it's like there's a skin over him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he still looks like a Chucky doll. But the other thing too is I am very, very concerned that the same actor isn't going to be playing Chucky's voice.
Oh, really?
That worries me. Yeah, because I read that. But Brad Dourif played him in the originals.
Yeah.
Like 7 movies or whatever the fuck they have at this point. And I think that they're continuing that franchise, by the way.
Oh, really?
Like they're not done. They're just keeping that going.
There's 2 coming.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, well, those are like now the last couple have been like directed to video and they're actually getting better again, which is interesting.
Okay. You know what you've done is you've created an idea in my head that I only want this now.
Chucky versus Chucky.
Yes. That's the only thing I want now.
And they could set that up. They could have like the old school Chucky who's like the analog age, like the old, fuck you, you don't bitch, you don't know, whatever.
Oh my God.
And then you have the new high tech Chucky and you have, do it.
Oh my God. Chucky. What if that's what this movie is?
Could be. That's what it should be. I'm excited.
Saved this movie. No evidence of this whatsoever. Saved it.
No, but honestly, like I don't know this. He's okay, it's just a vocal performance, I know, but like that character at this point is up there with like I mean, he's not as good as Freddy Krueger, or will never be as big as Freddy Krueger, but that voice is synonymous with the character.
Yep.
The angry Chucky fucking,
Yep.
you know, going nuts, yelling, "Ah!" You know.
Yep. I quite liked him. I mean,
yeah, he's good.
The movie is not great. It's very schlock. But you know, it's fun, and he's a fun character.
Right. Yes. So hopefully
that's what he is here.
But this is the opposite of what Aladdin's doing. You can tell they're going in a completely, like, they've got the base idea of the mom and the kid, and nobody believes the kid. I'm assuming all that shit's in there.
Right.
But it looks to me like the setting is drastically different. I'm assuming the Chucky origin story and like how the whole thing plays out is quite different. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
You know what I've got? I have a concern about the inception of this idea.
Okay.
Which is, I hope that the idea was like, oh, we're going to make a commentary about like, Alexa and all of this shit that we're inviting
like AI
and all the shit that we're inviting into our homes. I'm hoping it's that versus like, oh, how could Chucky get away with this now with all the cell phone cameras everywhere? Oh, we'll make him something that can override cell phone cameras.
Oh,
I hope that's not the idea for this.
Oh, he's like hacking.
He's hacking
shit.
it. Yeah.
Oh no, please, dear God. No.
I mean, I think it's going to come. I really do.
Oh no. If he's hacking shit,
I mean, I don't know what to tell you, Jackson.
I haven't even thought of that.
That's my fear. That's
the only thing he should
fear.
be hacking are body parts off of his victims with a little knife.
But
yeah,
nailed it.
That's his hacking.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Talk about hacking it. How about that Pet Cemetery trailer?
Yeah, I was quite shocked when I watched this latest trailer.
Right.
First of all, spoilers again.
Yeah, spoilers for the movie that this is advertising.
Right. Now, that's especially aimed towards people who have either read the original novel or have seen the original movie, because they know that the little boy is the one who dies and gets buried and brought back to life. Mm-hmm. No, not anymore. Now it's the girl.
Yeah.
Why'd you show us that? Because I would have actually, like, I'm not wholeheartedly like against that.
Right.
But I would have been surprised. You ruined a surprise for like a fan of the story.
Right.
I would have been like, wait a minute. Holy fuck. Like, it's her this time? Like, what does this hold for me now? Like, what else could be different?
Right.
But no, I don't feel that way. Now I'm just like, okay, well, the one thing that you changed, the major change you made, you ruined.
Yeah.
So what am I...
Well, and
what am I excited for at this point?
You've also given away the whole movie. That was my main gripe is that we walked through the whole movie.
Pretty much, yeah. They did. There was one of those trailers. Now, is there some misdirection happening? Possibly. You know what I mean?
But my thing about that, and this is why this is kind of failing, is because you've got that change, making it from the boy to the girl, and that would have worked for the old fans because they would have been surprised.
Or maybe they would have been pissed, but they could have. Maybe they would have been pissed, but it was their own fucking problem that they're pissed. You know,
right? But the problem is how do you market this without telling the story of a kid gets killed and a father brings the child back?
I think you assume that most of your audience knows that, because this has been like a part of pop culture now for years.
Right, but you want to get that young millennial group. I mean, you do. You do. They got a lot of expendable income.
You could do. I mean, the first trailer was fine. Mm-hmm. Like, I didn't feel like I knew that it was going to be the girl who got fucking killed in the first trailer. You know,
I felt like the first trailer, you nailed it. It's fine. It doesn't get you pumped though. Like, right, you're pumped. You're pumped because you know
I'm a fan.
Yeah,
right.
But for like a random person on the street, they're like, okay. I guess. I mean,
yeah, but who's a random person who's like 17 or up that doesn't know about Pet Sematary? I feel like everyone kind of knows about Pet Sematary.
Well, see, that's the problem.
They've seen it on TBS or whatever.
But that's the problem that we make as older people, is we assume that the younger generation is going to get all of our references, and there are just some things that fall through the cracks. I mean, I bet you a ton of kids don't know what He-Man is.
Right. You could be right. Yeah, you're right.
So that would be my point, is that they made something that would work for the old fans, but you have to show at least the kid getting killed and coming back to sell the movie to somebody who doesn't know what the main scary thing about this movie is. Or you show
the pets, the cat you could dying.
I mean, yeah. But is that as interesting? You know, like, you know what I mean?
No, it's not. Right. Because the whole concept is, you know.
So it's like somebody came up with, like you said, a cool idea for the old fans. But like nobody ran it by like marketing and said like, hey, can we market this?
Well, and you have another couple characters in there too. There's like Zelda, which is the sister of, I believe, the mother in the movie. And then you've got this other character who like gets hurt and ends up in like a hospital bed or whatever. And they showed both of them. It's like, concentrate on them.
Yeah.
Do something. I don't know. It was just fucked up. But you're right. No, beyond just that, in and of itself, you're right. There is like, you're showing clearly scenes from probably the climax of the movie.
Yeah.
The final like scary scene of the movie.
Yeah. John Lithgow getting his fucking
why did
Achilles.
they show that?
Yeah. Why would you? Yeah. I mean, you're basically showing the death scene of this character, or this character getting into a real sticky situation.
You're right. And I think the only reason you do that maybe is that people will forget by the time they go to the movie.
Yeah.
Because it's true. I mean, I've seen trailers like that where like by the time I get there, I just don't care and don't remember or whatever. But in general, you're right. I don't understand why you show that. I don't understand, because to me that's a twist, that it's the girl instead of the boy. I know it's probably not going to play like a twist in the movie because it's just the story.
Yeah. But
it's a twist if anyone knows the original like material that it's based on.
Right.
So I don't know. It's fucking weird, but I was really excited. Now I'm just like kind of excited, but a little worried because that's the other thing, is like the fact that it was such a little boy is part of like what's terrifying about it to me.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's probably harder to like have that on screen with like an acting 3-year-old kid or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they said is the reason they kind of did this, was because like we can turn out a real performance from somebody who's like, 10, 11, 12, 13, whatever she is.
Yeah.
But the infant kid is like fucking creepy. I mean, like thinking about having to kill your fucking baby.
Yeah, it's a much scarier image. And it's much more disturbing.
It's disturbing, right? Because there is nothing but innocence thought of as like being that, by the time she's the girl's age, she's kind of a little bitch sometimes.
Yeah.
And, so I don't know. I'm interested to see what they did with it. I think it doesn't look bad.
No.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I do have an option that they could have done for the little kid, which is they could have Ally McBeal'd that kid.
You'll have to explain this to me. I wasn't an Ally McBeal guy.
It's another one of those generational things. Didn't translate.
No, but I know who Ally McBeal is.
That's true. She started having like dreams of a dancing baby, and it was like 1990s like CGI.
This, I think. Yeah. That's what they should have done.
That's what they should have done.
I mean, it worked in the original. You had a little kid. Maybe he wasn't quite as young as he was in the book, but that little kid was fucking creepy. So I don't know. It's weird. It's very weird.
I think you could do it, but it would have to be a mixture of CGI, puppet work, and a real kid. It would have to be like all three, depending on what shot you need.
Well, and it's not even that though. I think they're worried about the actual like they can do more substantive stuff with a person who can talk and can give, lines and whatever.
That's true.
Maybe they think that in the novel that worked because you're getting the inner dialogue of the characters thinking about this versus on film, it's all visual.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's true.
Maybe that's and maybe it'll work great. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm upset that it was ruined for me, because that would have actually, if somebody would have told me that before I saw the trailer, I would have been like, oh, well, that's fucking dumb. Like, no, I don't believe you, so that means if it was just in the movie, I would have been like when the kid gets hit by the truck.
Yeah.
That should have been the moment I was like, wait a minute. Like, why is it? Yeah. What is this? But yeah, you might have a point though. Like, how do you not show anything?
Well, you kind of wonder. I always go back to the Mandarin twist.
Oh God.
and you change certain things about source material, and you don't tell people that it's coming, and it backfires huge. So that's something that I do wonder, maybe that plays a big part in it.
Could be.
I don't know. I mean,
they had to have been consciously aware of it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, this trailer, what are we going to do here? Are we going to show them?
Right.
You know, it had to have been a conversation. Now, this one, as far as the negative reaction towards it, you know, because that's kind of the topic, is these trailers that people are shitting on. Mm-hmm. This one, I feel like for me is like all nostalgia. Anything negative I have on this, it all seems to be nostalgia. And to your point, showing too much of the movie.
Yep.
But usually showing me too much of the movie gets me more mad at the trailer than I am hesitant to watch the movie when it comes out.
It's very true. It's very true. I mean, the ones that are clearly dropping the ball, at least in my opinion, is Child's Play and Aladdin. Pet Sematary does something that really bothers me, which is you show too much, but at the end of the day, I still think it looks like probably a pretty good movie.
Yeah, it looks entertaining. It looks good,
but you just ruined your movie. That's the trailer's fault, not the movie's fault.
Yeah.
Child's Play, it's
literally a trailer that they should have put a spoiler warning at the beginning of.
Yeah.
Like, it's that bad.
Yeah.
It deserves a spoiler warning. I was pissed I clicked on it and watched it. I'm pissed I saw it. I really am. Because then, like, later in the day, because as soon as it went up, I wanted to see it because I'm a fan. I want to see it, you know. And as soon as it went up, they fucking hyped it, like, overnight. They were like, new trailer tomorrow or whatever. So as soon as it went up, I watched it.
Yep.
And then, like, later in the day, like a couple hours later on Facebook, they're like, people are sharing it, but with the spoil, like, you know, Fandango or Rotten Tomatoes will share it, but it'll kind of say, like, hey, there's a spoiler.
This is where...
And I fucked up and watched it right away.
This is where... and we're kind of dealing with marketing a little bit in this, where, you know, we're dealing, like, the main topic is about movies that are getting bad buzz before they come out.
Right.
So that's marketing. You know, we're discussing marketing, and there's something that's going on with marketing nowadays. And it's not all of Hollywood is about Marvel, but what I have noticed is Marvel's advertising has changed in the last few years to really start hiding spoilers, start really hiding what's going on in the movie, because they want you to go in and actually have real surprises.
They should, you know, one I thought of, I don't know, this kind of just popped up in my head as you were saying that, but like the sleight of hand thing, like the mule kind of played that game where it's like, oh, that's the scene where he gets caught.
Yep.
And then in the movie, you're like, oh, he didn't get caught.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's there's a reason you do that.
And we need more of that in marketing in general, is the idea of, like, hide the movie a little bit, give people something to look forward to when you go. But I mean, you obviously have to have some sort of money shot or some sort of really cool hook for them to see in the trailer to get them in there. But this whole, like, give away the whole movie and then the Child's Play thing, I hate this robot thing. I just don't get it.
It should be filled with fluffy, pillowy material.
Well, I'm just sitting here and I'm like, could we just have done a different premise?
This robot thing. I mean, I get it though, but it kind of works for me.
But couldn't it just be a different, like, couldn't this be like, it's kind of a different idea. It's boy gets a robot and it turns out to be a killer versus boy gets a
robot that's got like a virus, like a computer virus.
I'm starting to think it's going to be a robot like with a virus.
It
like,
can't be.
I really hope
Chucky
it's not.
Has to be like a character who has a history.
Yes. Like, and if it's just like, this is the new form he takes. He's still a guy who dies. He still puts his soul in this thing.
Which is what it needs to be. Yeah.
If that happens, all right, fine. It's just a different body. I'm fine with it. But if you take that away and you make him like something that just goes crazy and it's
replicas.
Just like, yeah. You said the magic word. What a movie. But you just don't do that, because you fundamentally changed the premise.
Correct.
For the worse, I would say. And you've made a new movie, which is
a less
fine.
interesting version.
Right. A less interesting.
But it shouldn't be Chucky. Yeah.
Right. So that's and then Aladdin is just, I mean, like you said, some people will just say it's the nostalgia goggles, but it's just failing so miserably at its marketing. It's astounding.
Yeah, people should be excited for it. And they are not.
Like you said, this should be a slam dunk. People should... this should be a guaranteed $1 billion movie.
When I heard it was getting a live action version, I was like, oh, I've liked what they've done so far. Like, I'm excited for this. And then I saw the trailers and I'm like, there's not much here to look at, really.
No.
But yeah, I mean, what's your overall takeaway as far as marketing? You've talked about, you need to show them something. What should they do if they know they have a shit movie? Like, maybe Pet Sematari's giving away everything because they have a shit movie.
Right.
And maybe Aladdin is doing what they're doing because they don't have anything else to show you because they realize their movie is shit. What do? Just less is more? You don't show anything? You get people in on name recognition alone? What do?
That's a good question. You're kind of putting me on the spot.
I mean, honestly, like...
Well, it's kind of like, well, you got all these problems with it. Come up with a solution there, Mr. Negative.
Right.
It's a good point. I mean, I will say there's something that I've been thinking for a long time, which is like, play most of a scene, but it's got to be like one of those like really integral scenes where like your character is faced with a really important decision.
Sure.
And then you cut at the end of that scene, kind of like you were saying with the mule, where you cut at the end of that scene where like you don't know how that's going to end. But before that scene, that's how you end your trailer. But before that, you do something along the lines of you set up the character so that when that scene comes later in the trailer, you know why this means something.
Sure.
So that's what you should do. Like
should
Widow's
be easy for Aladdin too.
Widow's kind of had that too.
Right. Widow's had a good trailer.
Yeah. So I mean, you got to do stuff like that, and you got to do. There has to be. I feel like there has to be less dialogue in them, and Child's Play kind of does that, where there's very very little. In fact, I think there's only dialogue from the. From like the commercial that's advertising, this technology.
The Good Guy doll or whatever.
Yeah. So, I mean, in that regard, it's smart. That's not what Child's Play's trailer does wrong,
Child's Play's trailer's just, you're fucking with the formula here.
Yeah.
And it might piss people off. And you should be worried about that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Aladdin's not fucking with the formula at all. It looks like the same fucking movie. It just looks like shit.
That's the thing is like, and also the problem is that it's doing the exact same marketing that Beauty and the Beast did too, which is why you feel it so much. You're like, oh boy, look at you. You're trying to get me with
but Beauty and the Beast, like you felt like, oh, it's a live action Beauty and the Beast.
Yes.
It looks like they really put a lot of care into this.
Right.
Like, these look like the places I remember.
Right.
In this one, it's just like, this looks like they fucking threw this together for like a school play or something.
Yes.
It looks terrible.
Yes. That's part of it for sure. But I think there's also a part of it where you're like, oh, we're doing this again.
Yeah.
Like, oh, here comes the old beats. Oh, here comes the reference to the old joke. Oh, okay. Like, I think people might be getting a little tired of that marketing ploy.
Maybe they shouldn't release 35 fucking live action movies in the first 4 years that they start doing this.
Also, Guy Ritchie, I'm really starting to think that was a bad decision. I really am.
It's a risk.
It is. And Disney is not known for gambling.
No, but hey, God, if they would it doesn't look like they're letting Guy Ritchie be Guy Ritchie. They're like, it doesn't look like a Guy Ritchie style movie.
But it doesn't look like a Disney movie either. It looks like a knockoff of Aladdin.
Yeah, one of those. It's like the Mowgli.
Yeah, it's the Mowgli. Yep. It's the Mowgli to the Jungle Book. Yeah. Jesus.
Maybe someone will make a fake Aladdin.
And it'll be really good. Yeah.
Why not?
But I think we're done.
All right.
If you guys have any thoughts about how to fix these trailers.
And let us know, maybe you like these trailers. Why are you excited for these movies if you're excited for them?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you're going to convince me to be excited, but if you're excited, hey, that's awesome. Good for you.
But you can find us on Instagram, Bored and Annoyed. You can find us on Twitter, Bored Annoyed. Go to boredandannoyed.com. Send us an email at coupleofdudes@boredandannoyed.com. Or, just, hit us up. Let us know.
Yeah. Give me those deets. DM me.